How's it going, Jets fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Ryan Moran. My friends, we have the first preseason game of the year against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up in just a few hours, and my God, am I excited. A couple different things we want to talk about, 5 main things to watch as kind of this team unfolds, and the Mekhi Becton throws a wrench into our plans, and Dwayne Brown being signed, what's going to happen there? But ultimately, it all boils down to one thing, and it's Zach Wilson's confidence and how well he performs, his efficiency. We've seen it in practice. Him and Elijah Moore look damn good. They look really good so far. And that chemistry is building with Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis and Tyler Conklin and the whole bunch of playmakers this team now has on paper. So it should be fun to see how they kind of build it in the first preseason game. If we see some efficiency, we see some of the offensive systems, maybe a little bit more advancements to the entire thing. But I imagine it'll be rather vanilla. I imagine they're going to keep things quiet until the regular season. We're going to see a lot of baseline stuff. We're going to see a lot of probably running the football for that first drive or so while the Jets just trying to stay healthy, basically. Every preseason game is kind of that way, is like you just want to stay healthy and finding ways not to put your guys in a tough spot. So, if that right tackle position, Max Mitchell, Chuma Ndoga, if that kind of struggles a little bit, they may just take Zach Wilson out and say, we do not want to risk our quarterback right now if they're really getting beat up a little bit. So that should be interesting. But Ryan, before we dive into the 5 different things that we want to watch during this game today, how you do today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Alex. Definitely exciting, just invigorating this new look Jets team. We're finally going to get to start to seeing some live game action, which is exciting. You touched on a lot of the main points that you really want to see. First and foremost is just the health of this football team and being as healthy as possible coming out of this game. Obviously, big loss with Mekhi Becton recently, and you don't want to see that continue to compact here as we progress. You want to see this team stay healthy and, put some good reps ultimately on tape at the end of the day for these guys. And obviously, like you said, it starts with Zach. You want to see the confidence, the command, the ownership of the offense, his presence being felt throughout the huddle by his teammates, just showing that he can play within the structure of the offense. I think that's the main thing with him, and making good decisions, being accurate with his throws, getting the ball out on time. The underneath game obviously is an aspect we want to really see Zach grow, and just trust his skill position players, which are severely upgraded, and relying on them to just make his life easier, create some, plays in space after the catch. Ideally from the offense, I think the goal is you want to see at least 1 to 2 good series from the starting unit, convert some first downs, just move the football, establish some sort of a rhythm in the preseason to build on, convert some third downs, especially from Zach, and, hopefully put some points up on the board. You spoke on the right tackle position, obviously, with Becton going down. We don't expect to see Dwayne Brown after he just signed yesterday. Whether that's Max Mitchell or Chuma Ndoga is definitely a fascinating point that we'll, see here at 7 o'clock tonight. And I think Max Mitchell is one of those guys a lot of Jet fans are excited to see. So definitely some key points. And you want to just see the Jets ultimately, build a foundation that they can, continue to work with moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the one thing I want to see from Zach Wilson is pretty simple. Do not skip balls in the dirt. If you have a screen pass, short yardage, just get the ball there. That's all I want to see. We know he has unbelievable downfield accuracy and downfield, arm power and arm strength and arm talent. What we don't want to see is bad completion percentages on screen passes and short yardage, 0 to 9 yards. We need to see more accuracy compared to last season. He added the weight, 10 pounds of muscle mass. He has a better foundation. They really hunkered him down and say, you know what? Stay in that pocket, reset your feet. Do not throw off balance. Last year, he would stay straight and his feet would be a mess, and he would try to slingshot the ball out there, and he'd end up skipping it because he had no power going diagonal to the sideline. So, that's kind of where I want to see him improve. I think that his confidence has been exuding during camp. I think that he has tremendous arm talent when going downfield, but that's the one category that I want to see him improve on. What do you think makes Tom Brady such a good quarterback? Aside from just having like the best IQ ever, he doesn't miss passes 0 to 20 yards. He is deadly accurate in those portions of the field. If you can be deadly accurate there and make the right decisions and understand a defense, you can be a very good quarterback in the NFL. You don't have to be an unbelievable quarterback throwing downfield. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, for example, not a great quarterback throwing downhill, but he is really accurate in the 0 to 20 yards. Like that's Matt Ryan, not the best downfield quarterback, but he is deadly accurate in that zone. Like there are very good quarterbacks who make a living in that area. Zach Wilson, if he can become that guy, but also have the downfield capabilities, you're looking at a potential star. And I think that's where the Jets really need to iron him out. And hopefully we'll see some of that tonight. with a better offensive line. But I'll tell you what, like, the offensive line is an interesting situation right now because, like, how much confidence do you have in Max Mitchell, Chuma Doga? Personally, I have zero confidence in either of them. But Dwayne Brown right now obviously needs time to get acclimated with the offensive system. What are you expecting from Max Mitchell and Chuma Doga tonight at right tackle? And how much do you need to see before you're like, all right, let's get Zach Wilson the hell out of here?
For sure. I think the main thing really is that Michael Ford is going to get Zach in a position, like you said, just keeping the offense basic, really quick reads, play action boot, if possible, get him outside the pocket a little bit to really kind of alienate, what's a bit of a weakness right now at right tackle, with Becton recently going down. I think with Mitchell, he's a rookie and, he's coming from a smaller college team. So you're not really expecting him to immediately, like a Sauce Gardner or Garrett Wilson, make an impact. But I definitely think you'll see him show some of his athleticism, what he can do as a pass blocker. And you really just want to see him, build his confidence. He's going to gain the most valuable experience to date in his career. And you just want to see him really establish something that he can continue to build on moving forward. And Adoga, to me, I think most people have an idea on really what he is at this point. He's a backup. He's a guy you don't necessarily trust a ton. And, hopefully they're just able to, keep Zach Wilson, Breece Hall, Michael Carter, this entire Jets backfield, healthy during this game.
Absolutely. So, health is the primary thing here, just kind of sending out a prayer to the football gods that everyone stays healthy. And that's a big one. But the other thing that we really want to see, the third kind of big factor is the run defense. Can this team step up in terms of run defense? We'll probably see the starters for maybe a drive or two, and then we'll see a lot of the backups. And we need to see better in that category. I am curious to see how they mix in the linebackers there, because of course CJ Mosley will be out probably after a drive. And then you have, Nazrul Dean, you got Quan Alexander, you got Jamian Sherwood. Like, how do these guys get mixed in? They're all kind of gunning, and it could see Williams, of course, who I think is probably with the ones right now. But how do you think they split up those duties at LB2? That's going to be interesting because all those guys are capable of maybe even competing for the LB2 spot, let alone playing on the second and third team. So, how do you think they'll kind of spread the love around those linebackers?
It's interesting. I think, the Jets run so much nickel that you're really going to see two linebackers primarily with the first team on first and second down. And I think really it's going to be CJ and Quincy really to start. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Quan, while I think he's got the pedigree and he's played at such a high level and knows the system, I still think it's pretty early and you really want to get him a little bit more in football shape and up to the speed with things, in a live game action before you really put him out there with the starters. And I think eventually Quan is definitely going to take some significant reps with the starters. I just think right away it's going to really, like you said, be CJ and Quincy. I think Sherwood, Nazrul Dean, DQ Thomas, Delshon Phillips, even Marcel Harris. I mean, there's so many guys at this position group that it's going to be fascinating to really see, who's with the twos. I mean, especially because guys like Harris and Delshon Phillips are pretty good special teams players, and really how that kind of shakes out, at the bottom of the roster and really how the depth at linebacker ends up being filled out. I think up front on the defensive line, I mean, that's really where it starts with this run defense. Obviously, Jordan Whitehead will be in the box a ton, and we know he's great in that regard. But, really who is between Solomon Thomas, Quentin Williams, JFM, Jermaine Johnson, Carl Lawson, you really want to see this group collectively. We know they can rush the passer and get after the quarterback, and they all fit the scheme in terms of just attacking right up the field off the ball, but really slowing down the run. And you're going up against a physical Eagles offense with a really good offensive line. So it's going to be a good challenge for them. And, they got to be better. I mean, they were bottom 5 in football last year, had too many awful performances, and you really want to see them build something here going forward.
Yeah, actually, I'm very curious to see the Eagles offense as well with AJ Brown. They got some good players over there, and Jalen Hurts, obviously the turnover machine in terms of interceptions, but maybe he's a better quarterback this year. We'll see. As a fan of football, I have to say I don't like the Eagles. I feel like a lot of people who aren't Eagles fans just don't like the Eagles. I don't know if the Jets fans feel that way, but for me, it's just like I just can't stand them. Their fan base is crazy. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fun one tonight. And the next variable I do want to talk about is Sauce Gardner. Like, this is a guy, With no DJ Reed tonight, he's probably going to face off against AJ Brown if he's getting any snaps. Whoever the number one receiver for the Eagles is going to be, Sauce is going to be on him. So that'll be a really good competition, really good battle, live action finally to see Sauce Gardner, at the top of his game and hopefully put up a good performance. But, he's been tremendous during training camp. He has been sticky in coverage. He has the length, the pterodactyl wingspan. He's got it all to be an elite cornerback in the NFL. I think he'll be a little grabby as a rookie, but that's okay. Like, cornerback is one of the most difficult positions to transition to from college to football. So if he can have a good rookie season, the Jets are going to be in damn good shape moving forward, which is pretty exciting, if I have to say. What are you expecting from Sauce tonight? If he puts together a good performance, I think we're going to be really happy tomorrow.
Oh, 100%. I think with Sauce, the main few things you're really going to see right away are just the competitiveness, the confidence, the swagger that he plays with, the physicality, expect him to be close to the line of scrimmage and bump coverage. And, he's going to help this run defense. Obviously, we've talked about the concern that is and how much of an unknown it is for this defense and across the board on this entire football team. And both Sauce and DJ Reed can really contribute as corners against the run. And I think you're going to see Sauce, really make an immediate impact. I mean, you listen to the reports from camp and just what we've seen. I mean, he hasn't really missed a beat. He's come in and he knows he belongs. And I think the position, that he plays, confidence is everything, and he's definitely a guy who I think is primed to really make an immediate impact. I mean, look back to like Pat Surtain's first preseason game last year, and you saw the immediate impact he made. I think you're really going to see some of that on display here with Sauce. And obviously, no DJ Reed, so him and Bryce Hall have alternated throughout camp, but you're really going to see both of them start tonight with no DJ. So it'll be good, and really excited to see Sauce in his Jets debut. I think a guy who's got such great potential to be one of the best players for this team for a long time to come.
Absolutely, he definitely can. So the last variable that we do want to take a look at is the kicking competition. I don't know how many opportunities they're going to get to kick since, it's kind of tough to say how many times they'll score. But Pinheiro and Zuerlein, I personally think that Zuerlein is going to win that battle just based on experience. He's been in the biggest moments you can ask. Has been a little inconsistent at times during camp, but Pinheiro definitely a little bit of experience, not too much, but young guys that haven't been able to stick on definitely isn't ideal. I do think Zuerlein just wins that battle based on experience, and I think kickers can last a long time. So his leg isn't going to lose a lot of strength if he can still hit 50-yarders. I think you're in pretty good shape, because how often are you taking 50+ yard field goals? If you can hit consistently from 50 and under, you're a pretty damn good kicker in the NFL. I would say even 40 and under these days. Kickers were missing like crazy last year. So what are your thoughts there? I think that Zuerlein probably walks away with that job.
For sure, I'm with you. Just based on what you have in Zuerlein and what he's done throughout his 10 years in the league, it's a little bit more comforting. And I think what Pinheiro showed you at the end of last year was good. And really, it was the best the Jets have had post Jason Myers in that Pro Bowl season he had in 2018. So it's a good competition. I think that you can really feel good about in comparison to what the Jets have had over the past couple of years. But I'm with you. I think as of now, the upper hand goes to Zuerlein. Now, I wouldn't say it's a lock. I think it definitely is somewhat of a competition. And Saleh said it in his press conference yesterday, don't get mad if they're kicking field goals on 4th down. I mean, they really want to get to the bottom of this. And like you said, I mean, be inside of 50 yards, you got to make your kicks. That's the bottom line at that position in this league. And hopefully tonight we really see them both show some good things and make this a tough, position for the Jets to have to pick at the end of camp.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts below on the YouTube comments. Anything else that you're looking out for? Definitely going to be a fun game. Going to have a lot of takeaways for tomorrow. So we got you guys covered as always. But let's go Jets, man. This is going to be a fun game to see where Zach Wilson is at. Hopefully nobody gets injured. We'll obviously have some reports on that. Preseason is just that way. People get hurt is what it is. So, hoping for the best, but, we'll get you guys any information that comes out, of course, tomorrow. And we'll take a look at some of the film when it comes out as well. So see what that offensive line is looking like. Let's see what AVT is doing at right guard. Let's see, what Fant is Fant playing left tackle today?
I haven't even seen anything on him. I'm going to imagine, though, that he probably is going to play just based on the lack of, with Connor McDermott's injury as well. I think he would probably play. And it's only going to be a series or 2 tops.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll take a look at Zach Wilson, how comfortable he looks, and when the Game Pass All 22 comes out. So you got you guys covered there. But make sure to enjoy the game, my friends. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Jets episode.